Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Clash Royale's new balance changes and also some decks that will be good and worse in the upcoming changes. With the first deck here, I am going to be playing Balloon Goblin Cage with the Snowball and the Evo Knight. In the balance changes, the Evo Knight did end up getting nerfed, but I don't think it will be a significant nerf, so Evo Knight will still be pretty broken and I think the best evolution. The Goblin Cage did end up getting a buff with the Goblin Brawler. And the Snowball also did get a pretty nice rework, which I think it's undoubtedly a buff. The Snowball slows for 0.5 seconds longer, and it does like 9 less damage. Like not even to towers, but to troops. So Snowball will still be like doing pretty much the same amount of damage, but you just get a like an extra half-second slowdown, which is great when you're trying to connect to the tower with a balloon. I think this deck will be extremely good in the meta next season. I do have the arrows in here though, because I feel like you don't need Fireball and Snowball in the same deck. I can defend this push here with just the Knight. These balance changes will be going live, I think on either Monday or Tuesday. So from the time of I recorded this video, I think it's Friday. I actually don't even know. My sleep schedule is in the trenches right now. Like 3 days, I guess. I don't actually know what day it is. I'm sorry. Like my sleep schedule is actually in the trenches. Okay, I'm just gonna cycle my Inferno Dragon here in the back. Should be a pretty fine defense for me. I can Mega Minion on his He-Drag and even go for my Cage. Inferno Dragon is super good against Golem when you have the Mega Minion to snipe down his Inferno Dragon. I mean not his Inferno Dragon, his Electro Dragon. I'll Mega Minion here on top of it. What? Okay, wow. That was an extremely good tornado. He goes for his Evo Knight the bridge, so I'll go for my Evo Knight all the way up top just to pull over the E-Drag once my Inferno Dragon dies. Pretty nice defense either way, but that was a very good offensive tornado by him. I'll go for the arrows here on top of the E-Drag. I'll Inferno Dragon for the Skeleton Dragons, and everything should be cleaned up pretty nicely. What? What is that guy doing? He just said no. I'll activate my King Tower here with the Miner under the Goblin Cage. Why did that Goblin Brawler just start running away? Okay, I'm going to go for my Knight here. I'm going to Mega Minion to predict the Inferno Dragon. I mean, Electro Dragon. I don't know why I keep saying Inferno Dragon. I'm going to Inferno Dragon now, and then I'll Goblin Cage too. Well, what a nice prediction right there. I'll Snowball to finish it off and make sure that the Golem dies. This should be a pretty easy win. Just getting those nice predictions on his Electro Dragon just kind of solidified that win. He couldn't do anything after that. I'll go for the Mega Minion as well. And I will see you guys with the next deck. I'm in the next game here with this Royal Hog Cycle deck. I know I've made a video about this before, but after seeing the 100% confirmed balance changes, this deck is going to be crazy next season. I mean, you got the Evolved Skeletons buff where the Evolved Skeletons actually end up spawning 8 skeletons now. So not only is it going to kill stuff extremely faster, you have 2 extra skellies that keep multiplying. You're also going to be having the nerf to Bomb Tower. And I feel like the nerf to Bomb Tower is even bigger than like the buff to Evolved Skeletons for this deck. Not because Evolved Skeletons are going to be bad. Evolved Skeletons should be extremely good after these balance changes. It's more so of the fact that, like, Bomb Tower will not effectively defend Pig's EQ anymore. And that was, like, the most, like, staple counter ever in this game to Royal Hogs is just you play a Bomb Tower and they're gone. And if they Earthquaked, all you do is do a Logger and Ice Spear and they'd be gone. But now with the new balance changes, Bomb Tower won't be countering Royal Hogs that well anymore, and it's just going to be extremely good in the meta. You're also getting nerfed to, like, Evo Barbarians and Evo Knight. Obviously, Evo Knight is still going to be great, but Evo Knight is one of the great counters to this deck. Same with the Evo Barbarians, and both of those are going to be getting some pretty good nerfs. The reason I do think Evo Knight will still be broken is because Evo Knight's nerf is way smaller than the Evo Barb's nerf, which I'm actually quite biasedly happy about, just because I'm a Evo Knight player with Logbait. I'll activate my King Tower here off the Magic Archer. Always nice to get that King Tower activation. If you put a card right there, it will always activate the King Tower as long as it moves. If the card doesn't move like a Princess or something like that, or a Dark Goblin, then it won't activate the King Tower. But as long as the card will move like forward towards the Magic Archer, it will always activate the King Tower, which is a pretty good tip to know, because activating your King Tower against a bridge spam deck like this is always pretty good. And then I can defend the Lumberjack with my Royal Delivery. And if you want, you can replace Skeletons with the Goblins, and you can also replace Fire Spirit for Ice Spirit or even Electro Spirit, but I'd stick with Ice Spirit and Fire Spirit. Those are just some pretty good changes you can make to the deck that make it just as good, but this is just my personal preference. I like the Fire Spirit for cheap pressure at the bridge, and I like the Skeletons for cheap defense. And obviously with the Evolved Skeletons coming out, you definitely want to play with them. But if you don't have Evolved Skeletons, I'd definitely go for playing with the Goblins. It would still be extremely good in the deck. The only reason I think Skeletons will be better is because of the Skeletons evolution, which is going to be so strong, I feel like. I'll just set up my cannon here early. Doesn't have Fireball. Okay, he goes for the Magic Archer. That was a good Magic Archer. I'll pop my Queen ability to kill that Inferno Dragon. I want to Earthquake here and log on the Magic Archer. It's getting kind of annoying right there. I can just defend that Ram Rider with my Evo Skelly, so I'll Royal Hogs. I'm going to go for my Evo Skellies. I know this is going to get a good charge connection onto my tower, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to go for my Royal Delivery here, because I knew he had the overcommit on the Royal Hogs, so now I can pressure again. I'm going to go for my Cannon here, and then right when this Lumberjack dies, I'm going to go for my Royal Hogs. I'm going to Skellies as well, just to get it to stop stunning my pigs. Yep, he goes for the Magic Archer Bar Barrel. I'll just go for my Earthquake. That Magic Archer is going to be one shot to the log. Oh, wait, his tower's so low. I don't know how that got 900 damage. I'll just go for my log, my Royal Delivery, Fire Spirit, Skeletons, and Earthquake, and GG. Very nice win there against Bridge Spam. That's a pretty good matchup for me, especially once I got my King Tower up. I knew it was going to be pretty much over, just because whenever you activate King Tower versus Magic Archer, it's just... In the next deck here, you guys seen it right. I'm playing Giant Graveyard. I think Giant Graveyard will be extremely broken next season. And no, I'm not kidding. I know it sounds like a joke and it's like kind of like a huge meme on my channel, but the Giant is getting a buff. The Giant is going from a medium melee attacker to a long-range melee attacker. And if you guys played back in the day, you guys know what happened to the P.E.K.K.A. once the P.E.K.K.A. got a range buff, like on attack. P.E.K.K.A. was extremely broken. Giant is getting the exact same buff. Giant is going to hit from quite far away. So Giant is going to be able to hit towers and buildings much more and earlier and kill them much quicker. So you're going to have less time to kill that Giant. And also you got the buff to the Snowball as well, which is going to be great because whenever you Snowball with Giant Graveyard, you're never trying to kill cards with the Snowball. You're always just trying to slow down that tower. And you're just trying to get some graveyard damage onto the tower. I'm just going to go for the skill Giant Graveyard right here. And on top of that, you have the bats in here. Next season, it is now confirmed that there will be evolved bats. And the evolved bats are going to be having like a very unique mechanic where once the bats attack something, they heal into the health of about a minion. So you're going to have healing bats with this deck. And I don't know how you're supposed to defend a Giant Graveyard with like healing bats behind it. Like, these bats are going to be the health of a minion, basically, if they heal up. And they'll just be, like, minions that heal for only 2 elixir. They're going to be so good. I don't think they're going to die to the Electro Spirit, but you can't quote me on that. Or maybe not the Ice Spirit as well, but you can't quote me on that. I'm not sure. I don't know what the exact stats are, but I did see a new post by Clash Royale confirming that they are going to be Evo bats. And it's going to be very nice. Obviously not for me, because I hate Giant Graveyard, but for, like, everybody else who wants to play this or just people who want to use the best decks in the meta, it is going to be very nice. And this deck is going to be extremely good in the next meta. I'm kind of scared, actually. Oh, of course, every video I have to get a 20% battery. But I'm really scared of how good the Evo bats are going to be. But we're going to have to wait and see. But I know for a fact with 3 major buffs, this deck is going to be extremely good next season. I'm just going to go for my bats here on top of the Firecracker. The one difficult thing about this matchup is that I can't really kill Evolved Knight that well because I'm using the Evolved Bats before they've came out, so I can't really like use Evo versus Evo. Just gonna arrows here on the Firecracker. I can cycle back to a second set of arrows when I want to go in for my push. I'm gonna go for Dark Prince in the back. This guy needs to change lanes. This guy can't really get through right now because I'm just kind of cycling Musketeers in the back. And whenever I Musketeer the back, he can't really go hog because I'll just snowball to defend it. I can go for a new Giant at the bridge here. He did just use his Tesla. And then I'll go for the Graveyard here. Giant Graveyard. He did use his log too. He has to Earthquake on defense, so I'm not going to arrows right away. I'm going to wait for the Earthquake. Okay, I'm just going to snowball here. I'm not going to arrows for the Goblins just because I feel like I'm not going to get that much damage. It's not going to be worth it. Yeah, I only got 1 hit. Arrows wouldn't have changed anything. I'll Scar me here as well just to DPS that down. I can get a nice arrows clip on the tower. And then I think I want to set up, okay, I'll Dark Prince here. Hopefully that Goblin doesn't hit. Nope, it doesn't. Perfect. I'll Snowball here on the Hog Rider. This is kind of looking not great. I don't really know how I'm supposed to get an extra 500 damage on his tower when he's constantly pressuring me. but I'll see what I can do. I'll go for my musketeer in the back here. I wish I had the bats right now, like the Evo bats. I'll go for my bats on top of that knight, and then I can get a nice arrows onto the tower here. I'm kind of whittling his tower down with just arrows. I'll cycle my giant the back. I don't want to make a push without my musketeer. I feel like I want to get a second giant down. I'll go for my Dark Prince to block the bridge because he might hog. Yup, he does hog. I'll musketeer here. I'm going to let that hog rider hit my tower. I feel like the only chance for me to win is to let that hog hit and try to get like a nice graveyard push down. Okay, I'm going to graveyard here. I can get these like huge arrows on the firecracker and the goblins. Major value. Okay, I'm going to go for my skeleton army, the bridge, to DPS down that Evo Knight. He did use his log and his EQ, so he can't really like stop that star army from killing his knight. I'll bats here to block the Tesla, and then I'll go for the graveyard. I do have another pair of arrows. I'm going to arrows right away. I want to kill that firecracker. I'm going to pre-snowball for his goblins. Perfect. Okay. I have to be careful, though. I don't have anything for the hog rider. I'm going to scar me the bridge so he can't hog. Oh, graveyard's doing work. I'm going to muskie on the side just so he can't go in. I'm going to bats. I'm going to go for my arrows on top of the hog and the firecracker. That hog rider is dead. That earthquake didn't really do anything. I'm going to go for a naked graveyard here. I need to go for my snowball on top of the goblins. Okay, I'm going to go for my early Dark Prince on the hog rider. I can go for my bats as well. That's going to get one hit, but my graveyard is on the tower. I'm going to go for my Skarmy to block the firecracker, and then I'm going to go for my graveyard on the tower once again. I'm going to arrows here for the firecracker. He has to log earthquake my tower, but he needs to defend. I'm going to snowball, and that's GG. Let's go. Very nice win there. I kind of put up some LeBron James numbers in double and triple elixir. I'm not going to lie. Single elixir was very rough, but afterwards, that guy just couldn't really touch me. I'm in the next game here against Lavaloon. Just going to go for my tombstone here in the middle. The next deck I'm going to be playing here is Lavaloon with the barbarians. I feel like this deck is going to be much worse next season. I do kind of feel bad for the Lava Hound players out there. Lava Hound did get a kind of random nerf. I think that Lava Hound, the deck, needed a pretty big nerf like to the Evo Barbs and the Evo Knight, but I don't understand why Lava Hound caught a stray. Like, Lava Hound just randomly got a 6% HP nerf for literally no reason at all. I just don't understand why they thought it was good to nerf the Lava Hound when I feel like there's way better cards and more deserving cards out there to getting a nerf, like unlike Lava Hound. Like, for example, like Evo Recruits, like another Magic Archer nerf, maybe like a Tornado nerf, but I'm just gonna Skelly Drags here. What? Okay, oops. Wait, what? What? Okay, my cards are plug walking. That's not my fault. My cards are plug walking. My cards are just dancing in the middle of the game. But that's the only critique I have for this balance change is that I feel like instead of nerfing like the Lava Hound card, they should have nerfed a different card in Lava Hound, but I do unfortunately feel like that this deck will be much worse. And I love this deck right here because I always beat it with log bait. not the other ones. I hope all the other ones get a huge nerf, but I do enjoy facing this Lava Hound deck. It is a really easy matchup for me. All bias aside. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to go for my Fireball here on the Spear Gobs in the Bomb Tower. I do have Zap for his batch, so he can't really defend this. Yeah, this guy didn't pressure me when I went for the Lava Hound in the back. That's why you need to pressure people when they go for their big tank in the back. Because since he did that, like, I was able to just Fireball Spear Gobs and zap the bats. Even if he didn't do that bad Bomb Tower placement, I still would have taken the tower just by Fireballing Spear Goblins and zapping bats. And that's a ton of damage on the King Tower right there. I think I'll Mega Minion on the Spear Gobs. I don't know if I want to, but I think I will, just because I don't want to take too much damage. Yeah, I'll just Mega Minion here off to the side. He's going for Knight the Bridge. I'm going to Fireball those bats. I don't have anything good for them. I'm going to Evo Barbs predict his Miner. Nice. Very nice prediction right there. Playing really, really well. I'm going to go for the High Lava Hound onto his King Tower. Just because, yep, he does go for the Bomb Tower, which is perfect. That's what I thought he'd do. I didn't know if he put, like, where he'd put it, but I just assumed he would. I'll go for the Balloon right away. I want to pressure him so he can't go in, because the more I'm pressuring him, the less he can attack. Yeah, he goes Minor Wall Breakers, but I can just defend that easy with a Tombstone, whereas, like, a Knight Bats push with Minor Spear Gobs could be hard. I'll Skelly Drags onto the King Tower, try to take out those Spear Goblins. Oh, another Balloon hit is crazy. Okay, nice, and Fireball GG's. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.